Hi, hello, and welcome. My name is J-Dog, aka Josh, for the next few videos as I made a deal with one of my subscribers, Penny, or should I say P-Dog, that if I introduced myself for the next few videos, 5 to be exact, that she would make me an outro card for these, so this is the first of 5. Please don't unsubscribe, this is not permanent. It is just J-Dog for the next 4 videos after this one. And today, I'm going to be bringing you guys some gameplay featuring Ancient Box. Today, with this gameplay, I hope to kind of cover some of the basics of Ancient Box, cover some general sequencing, and overall some win conditions and the way the deck operates and flows. So let's get right into it and talk about the deck itself. We start off with the Pokemon count. We have 4 Flutter Mane, because Flutter Mane is a 1 retreat ancient Pokemon that has a very good attack in the Hex Hurl, 90 to the active, 2 damage counters to your opponent's bench any way you like. It doesn't seem like a lot, but those 2 damage counters can add up, especially against decks like Gardevoir. That's where that Hex Hurl really comes in handy the most. Then Walking Wake. Walking Wake is the newest addition to the deck, taking the spot of Koraidon. Some people don't agree that it should take the spot of Koraidon, but you are talking about a 1 retreat Pokemon against a 2 retreat Pokemon. If you start Walking Wake, it's not the end of the world. You still have a lot of options in terms of attaching, retreating, or Sadas to it and retreat as well. It is not your primary attacker, but the Undulting Slice is not a terrible attack when it comes down to it, especially combined with Aurora Gain. You heal 20 from this Pokemon. So there are some times where if you have to attack with Walking Wake, you're able to. It's not the easiest to do because we do only play 2 water energies though. Radiant Greninja is the heart and soul of this deck. It is the draw engine, and it enables you to get energies into the discard pile. I know recently there's been a lot of people talking about, do we even want to put Radiant Greninja down in certain matchups? And in my head, the answer is always yes. This deck does not operate, it does not function without Radiant Greninja. The only deck I would not even consider putting Greninja down in is a stall/control matchup, which you already have a hard time into anyway. So you are just going to be struggling without the heart and soul, and you should not play the heart and soul because they can win against you with that. And the bread and butter. If Greninja is the heart and soul, Roaring Moon is the arms and legs of the deck. Maybe I should kind of reverse that because the arms and legs are usually used to reach farther, right? But Roaring Moon is what's attacking in this deck. Vengeance fletching 70 plus 10 damage counters for every ancient card in your discard pile. And just as a little heads up, I've done the math. I've calculated it. We've got 30 ancient cards in this deck. I believe that math is correct. If it's not, the right number will be on the screen right now. It is very possible to take big Okos with this Roaring Moon on 2 prize Pokemon, single prize Pokemon. 140 HP is an awkward number for your opponent to hit. This card does a little bit of everything, and that everything is being a generally good beat stick card. Our trainers, we are playing the maximum supporter count for the ancient cards. That means 4 Explorer's Guidances and 4 Professor Sada's Vitality. These are the only ancient supporters that we have access to right now, but we combine that with some ancient trainer cards in the booster capsules, along with the Earthen Vessels. Earthen Vessels and booster capsules serve 2 purposes. The booster capsules can help you add HP to things like Flutter Mane to get them out of Greninja range, and get your Roaring Moons all the way to 200 HP, or Walking Wakes to 190. Just that 60 added HP boost is huge. Earthen Vessels obviously are a discard option, and they help you get energy to your hand. So let's take a second to talk about the energy count. I like 6 and 2. I would love to just be on 7 darkness energies if possible, but because I want to include the water energies, meaning if I find myself starting Walking Wake against a Snorlax deck, all hope is not lost. That's basically where I'm at with that. Same idea if they accompany Flute, a Walking Wake, or something like that. I have an out. It's not just over. So that's why we are playing the 2 water energies. Back to the trainers. 1 boss, 1 Kieran. These are pretty standard kind of power supporters that are helping you kind of close or finish out the game. 4 Ultra Balls for super consistency, also discarding more ancient Pokemon. 2 Super Rods to prevent yourself from decking out more or less, or putting energy back into your deck for Earthen Vessel, or just getting those Pokemon back in, because if you're only attacking with Roaring Moons, you're going to need to at least have maybe 5 of them before you either win or lose the game, because your opponent needs to take 6 knockouts on you. Superior Energy Retrieval SER to get energy out of the discard pile while also discarding ancient Pokemon from your hand or trainers or items, whatever ancient cards you got. PokéStop kind of turbos and helps you mill through the deck a little bit. And Nest Ball Consistency. Penny gives you that extra kind of like that extra push to get you over the hurdle of a Snorlax matchup if you prevent yourself from getting the Greninja down. And it gives you that extra out. Even if they do Greninja, you can get it out and then discard it. And if you are able to discard it, then they have to waste an extra turn to Manatine that card back onto the board. So it helps with that. And it, believe it or not, helps against Lost Box. Whereas Lost Box typically will spit innocently once or twice during this matchup, Penny can prevent that damage from being established on the board. Pal Pads, we are playing 2 Pal Pads in this deck because Pal Pads, you need them to get back things like Sada's Vitality, the Kieran, the Penny, the Explorers even in late game. So Pal Pad is just kind of that extra cushion, that extra padding for late game. If you PokéStop away some resources you don't want to, such as these supporters, you get them back. It gives you 2 outs, or it gives you 2 Boss's Orders essentially in the deck. 3 if you want to count the Pal Pad times 2, but this is mainly coverage for if you prize it and that extra late game push, because these games might take a little longer to finish. 2 counter catchers because you are a single prize deck going against probably beefy 2 prize decks in the meta currently, so you will go down at least 1 prize, and counter catcher enables you to kind of prey and take advantage of weaker support Pokemon on your opponent's bench, and enables you to use Flutter Mane for maximum value. Those 2 added damage counters, that's what I'm talking about. Pokégear because it synergizes with the PokéStop and the high supporter count in the deck. Unfair Stamp is probably the most unorthodox pick for this deck in terms of Ace Spec. I know a lot of people like Secret Box, obviously Awakening Drum, and I've seen most recently Prime Catcher, but I think one of the things this deck was lacking the most in was extra draw power and disruption. For me, Unfair Stamp adds both of those things to the deck without overall hurting the goal of the deck. Let's take a second and talk about what is the goal of the deck. Well, the goal of Ancient Box, you've got 2 really simple goals. Discard ancient cards, attack for big numbers. There's a lot of little micro decision making and stuff that you can do with the deck. We're not really going to focus on that with this video. If you'd like to see a more in-depth approach on the sequencing necessary to kind of achieve certain goals per turn, I'd be more than happy to talk to you guys in the comments and kind of break down scenarios and situations. And if there's enough demand, I'd be more than happy to make a video about it. But our number 1 goal, ancient cards in the discard. Our number 2 goal, big knockouts. That's what we're looking for. We've talked about the tools in the deck that help us get to those goals, so why don't we go ahead and head into some gameplay. And we find ourselves against Yasuo JP. Alright, Yasuo. Almost want to call them Yasuo, but that's just how League of Legends pilled I am. Okay, we lose the coin flip, and with this deck, you really want to go second, but if you are forced to go first, it's not the end of the world. Alright, Flutter Mane interactive, not the end of the world. We do have the Sadas, the PokéStop, so we need a PokéStop here into a Nest Ball. Dreeping the active for my opponent. Let's see how the game gets started. I wanted to look at their mulligan again. Okay, just the attached pass. It does happen quite a bit. Alright, so let's Earthen Vessel away. No, let's PokéStop first. Alright, we find the Nest Ball. So we can Nest Ball for Greninja. We do have the Greninja, perfect. Let's see if we can get a donk in here and show you why you want to go second with this deck. Earthen Vessel, the energy, 2 darks, and we'll go ahead and concealed cards now. Alright, that gives us that. This gives us this, and we have a knockout. I repeat, we have the donk. Attach, we're good to retreat, and this is where we would say, sorry man, but GG. Sometimes it just be that way. I've been on the receiving end of that quite a bit. And they concede. I do not blame them at all for doing that. Don't be mad that you lost. Be happy that I won. I say while I'm wearing my Dragapult outfit. I love Dragapult so much. But sometimes you gotta donk them for the YouTube video. And look at that. Victini. I'll drink to that. Well, game number 1 went by lickety split, why don't we queue up for game number 2? So Ancient Box definitely is a very early aggressive deck. You want to make use of getting energy in the discard pile quickly because energy in the deck does you no good. The best place for energy to be with this deck is either in your hand or your discard pile. So even if you aren't able to attack, Earthen Vessel away those energies unless you think you're going to be IO node. Let's go second. We won the coin flip, might as well. Maybe we'll get lucky part 2. And while yes, donks are part of the game, I don't believe they're the most skill intensive part of the game. Sometimes getting donked is just bad luck. Alright, Jamming Tower, Energy Switch, looks like we're against Regidrago this time. And I would say we have a pretty strong matchup into Regidrago. Getting to 280 is not that hard, though if they play the Gudra V-Star, our life could be slightly more difficult. Let's hope they don't play Gudra V-Star. Take our mulligan. Alright, Explorers is actually a really good one to get. Drago in the active, so that means if they don't get it out of the active, they won't be able to V-Star power. Squawkabilly, okay, easy target. At this point, they might be thinking we're playing Gardevoir, because Gardevoir is a much more common deck on the ladder. Old Scoop Up Cyclone, look at that, that's so pretty. Also, like, I feel like if I look at it too long, I'm going to have, like, a seizure. That's not that pretty, okay. Okay, I lied. Much prefer the newer Ace Specs. Earthen Vessel to away Dragapult, so they probably are thinking we're playing Guardy at this point. He switched to the active. So a pretty strong turn 1 for my opponent. Bench our Radiant Greninja. PokéStop first. Okay, not the end of the world there. Nothing I really want to play or use yet, though. So let's go ahead and Explorer's Guidance. Definitely want an Earthen Vessel, and I believe the Sada is what we should take here. This is not an easy choice, I will say that much, but I believe these two are the correct ones to make. So let's Earthen Vessel away the Walking Wake. Grab 2 concealed cards, hopefully finding ourselves either another Walking Wake. I was hoping for at least 1 ancient Pokemon there, and we get 1. Let's get rid of Walking Wake. And let's get rid of the booster capsule here. And grab ourselves a moon. We can bench the moon here because I don't want to have to retreat Greninja. And let's go ahead and attach Dark Energy to it. Odds are they're going to knock out Flutter Mane this turn, so I want to be ready for that. We'll end our turn, and hopefully our PokéStop stays in play. Let's count the Ancients in the discard here. 2, 4, 5, 7, 8. They're doing 150 right now with Vengeance Fletching. That's what I like to see. Bad PokéStop for my opponent. 3-card hand, and they just lost the research. Let's see what they have supporter-wise. Nothing, just Dragon Laser. 130 and then 30, okay. So we should hopefully be able to push and reach for the knockout here, even if I need a Kieran. We do have Unfair Stamp online too, okay. This is a good chance where Unfair Stamp comes in handy. Let's start off with concealed cards first. Alright. Make sure we're doing the 160 now, okay. It's PokéStop. Hopefully we mill a little bit more. Okay, I'm okay with that. That should be 170. We have the attachment for turn here. This gets me up to 200, so then we need 2 more. Let's see, Pokégear. We fell that, okay. Not the best, not the end of the world. Let's go ahead and SAR here, or SER. Get rid of the Sadas and the Counter Catcher, I believe is what I want to get rid of. I want to hold on to Penny just in case. I'm getting ready to Unfair Stamp, so I'm just going to put 1 energy back in. Yeah, let's just do 1 energy. Let's play the Kieran. We want to do 30 more damage. So we need 1 more card. Alright, and Unfair Stamp. Come on, Ultra Ball and some ancient Pokemon or Earthen Vessel something. Oh, that's not what I wanted to see. It's not at all what I wanted to see. Okay. Well, doing 210 feels so bad. We'll Counter Catcher, put this in the active, and this just, whew, This don't feel good, folks. Whiffing it by 10 damage don't feel good. But that is one of the downsides. Sometimes you will whiff it by 10, especially when you're playing a bit more of a streamlined version of the deck. There's argument to be made that I should have potentially Sada's there, but Sada's I don't think would have gotten me there. I really don't. It's hard to say what I would have top decked. Oh, the Goodra. They do play the Goodra. Okay. We might have missed our window of opportunity. Hopefully this Unfair Stamp sticks. PokéStop, no Ultra Balls. Alright, that's not good. They found the Ultra Ball and the E-Switch. Alright, so we do see Regidrago V-Star come out this turn. Do they have a way of getting it out of the active? They do have Scoop Up Cyclone. Oh, our goose is cooked. They just erased everything we did last turn. Okay. I'm not saying we're out of it yet, though. We have Counter Catcher and we have 6 prizes potentially still on the board. Maybe they don't see the Scoop Up Cyclone. Maybe they don't see it. I think they saw it. Yep, they saw it. Okay. What was the other card they got there? Research for next turn. Okay. And the Super Rod coming down. Sheesh. Boy, oh boy. Need to find a Nest Ball. Already down both counter catchers, but we still have balls. Okay, still have balls. And we still have Pal Pad. So is our goose really cooked? I don't know. Oh, the research. 16 cards in their deck. I might be able to stall out. If I'm able to, that would be so evil. Alright, there's the Rolling Iron, Goodra V-Star attack. Goodbye. Now they take 80 less damage next turn. Flutter Mane's got to be the active here. Explorer's Guidance is not bad. I want to PokéStop first, hopefully finding Nest Ball. Alright, that's not Nest Ball, but it is something. Earthen Vessel first. Let's get rid of the Penny. Yeah, let's get rid of the Penny. 2 darks. Check my deck here. Make sure I still have balls. Okay, I do. We have the other Pal Pad. Alright. We're not out of it just yet. Let's Earthen Vessel away the other energy just to have our 2. Then our deck out as much as we can. Added cards into the discard pile. Concealed first. Super Rod and Ancient Booster. How many Roaring Moons do I have in discard right now? Just the 1. Let's go ahead and Ultra Ball. Explorer's Guidance and the Ancient Booster Capsule. Let's grab the Moon. We'll Super Rod back in. Do I Super Rod yet? Ah, this is so tricky. I think I have to. Let's go ahead and Super Rod because I need to try to draw back into this Moon. The fact that I prized 1 is really bad. Get those 2 back in deck. Sada's Vitality. Pal Pad first? No. Yeah, let's Pal Pad first. Put back in Sada's. And Kieran, just because I might need that at 30. We can still get there. I know we can. Alright, Nest Ball, that's good. Balls for next turn's good. But I still need to find a Sada's for next turn. Let's go ahead and retreat. Move you up. Their Scoop Up Net's gone, so they can't use that. Or Scoop Up Cyclone, I'm sorry. 140 is actually good damage here. 140 is really good. I didn't even bother calculating the damage because of the Rolling Iron. It was like that minus 80 is rough. Okay, so 140 means we're halfway through it. We'll move up Flutter Mane. And right now, not setting up a second attacker other than Ogerpon potentially is good for me. And I have prize cards to work with as well. We're not in as bad as a spot as I initially thought we were, I should say that. We're still not in a great spot, especially with a 9-card hand for my opponent. This is where Unfair Stamp is so good, but those researches are just so good for my opponent. Ultra Ball here. Assuming this is to get a second Regidrago set up. The Hawlucha is so interesting in this deck. Like, do you think you're more Dragapult than Dragapult? Because I kind of think you do. Did they get something with that? Didn't look like they did. Okay, they failed that. And just Apex Dragon. All right, so if I get through this Regidrago V-Star, we're in the clear. But it's a major if. We have some Pokégears still in deck. We need to find those Pokégears off of this stop, or top deck Sadas. All right, the dark energy helps. Let's PokéStop first. Oh, we would have hit it too. Okay. I didn't want to get rid of the energy in case I didn't find another. All right, always punished, right? Always punished. Okay. I think I just end turn. I don't think there's anything else I do here. Giving them another turn to potentially get set up and do something, but it's what I have to do. We're seeing both sides of Ancient Box right now. We saw the awesome donk side last game, and this time we're seeing it kind of stall out here. The engine's falling a little flat. The starter's not wanting to start. It's not wanting to turn over, folks. They just take the attack here, okay. I have one more Sadas in deck and two more. Interesting that they're going for the ape. Okay, I guess they know I'm taking knockout anyway, so they're just putting damage on the moon anyway. Doesn't not make sense. All right, it's all or nothing at this point, so just move the moon up. No harm, no foul. Super Rod. All right. That's Super Rod. Put moon back in. 2 dark energies. I'm trying to maximize my chances of drawing into this stuff, so we will grab the moon. Oh, we are out of Sadas. Okay. We need to hit Pal Pad. I prized to Sadas. This is on me for not checking. All right, so then that changes my sequencing here. We PokéStop first. Pal Pad, perfect. We Pal Pad. Double Sadas. And we hope to the Greninja Lords that this 1 in 4 chance works. Greninja never fails. And we got our second moon set up. And we've got the Pokégear too. Okay. We are actually not done yet. Somehow, someway, we survive. Take that knockout. Take our 2 prizes. Come on, be some useful cards, please. Double moon. I'll take it because I can Ultra Ball those away. Have to be really worried about decking out now, though, at this point. I'm out of super rods. I wouldn't mind my opponent Ionoing me here. Till mass coming down. Basically, I think I'll lose because of deck out here, actually. Thinking about this a little bit harder. I was talking about my opponent potentially decking out, but in fact, I'm the one who's going to deck out. Because I don't believe I have any other way of getting energy back in the deck. I played a too aggressive early game, and I got punished for that substantially. Is that 2 Hawluchas? Wait a second. You're absolutely insane. Are you playing a consistent deck or a crazy deck? Because I think you're playing a crazy deck, opponent. I understand why, but I don't understand why at the same time. Yeah, I played a little too aggressive, flew a little too close to the sun. And if they have this set up, although they did have to just Earthen Vessel for a fire energy, so I don't know what they have in their hand. Big damage. We have to Sadas to take the knockout, and you best believe I take the knockout. I'm going down swinging. Pokégear, please, and thank you. Yeah, we are cooked. Move that. Nothing to save us here, folks. Did I even have the second Pal Pad in deck, or am I tripping? No, I used it. We were cooking too hard this game, that's for sure. But 260, nothing to be ashamed of. All my opponent has to do now is just pass. Feels bad, man. Feels real bad. But like I said, 2 sides of Ancient Box. That's what we've seen so far. Hopefully game 3 will show us the good side again. And they're energy retrievaling just to show me. They could just pass and knock me out, but I'm going to let them have it. I'm not quitting. All right. GG's. Nuyukai. I have no idea how to pronounce your name. If I butchered it and somehow, some way you see this video, I apologize to you and your culture. We all must learn to be gracious in defeat. Well, I apologize to you and your culture. Is that being gracious? Probably not. I don't know. I'm humble in defeat, I promise. Goodbye, Victini. Just as soon as we got you, we lost you. But we're earning you back, I believe. Game number 3 coming up now. Been some good gameplay so far. I think we made a few mistakes in that last one that I could have easily caught. I think pushing for that knockout was a little too aggressive, and that put me in a position where if I whiffed it, which I ended up doing, I wasted too many resources. And that's one of the things where it comes down to like really the good Ancient Box players versus the bad Ancient Box players, or should I say unexperienced. I would not say I'm seasoned with this deck at all. I just think it's a very good deck to learn and pick up and to play. That's why I want to cover it today. Okay, not a bad opening hand here. Moon in the active is good. First time starting Moon. And flip it over, show me what you got. I'm very intrigued. Lugia, okay, let's see how this one goes. This can be a little tricky, actually, because they have the Iron Hands. So I need to be very aware of that with my Radiant Greninja and how sparingly I use it. Heads on the coin flips, and no Lumineon Carmine, but the Archeops directly in hand never hurts. Jamming Tower right away. Interesting. Okay, they're playing the double Archeops and the double Lumineon, though. That was hard to do if I had to guess, but I don't blame them for doing it, but that just hurts. Lumineon's a pretty solid attacker in this matchup because it can tank a hit and then attack for 120, and it doesn't knock out unless it's against a Flutter Mane, but it's still not bad. Start with the Nest Ball here. Radiant Greninjas, who we need to come down. We need some draw power. Right now, I could win by donking. I don't know how likely that is, but it's not likely. PokéStop first. Okay, one more card. We will Earthen Vessel away. Let's get rid of the Moon. Double Dark. Yeah, the Moon was fine. We definitely have the resources in deck to potentially hit the donk, but it's not going to be easy, that's for sure. So let's go ahead, concealed cards, get 2 more cards into my hand. Walking Wake's an easy discard. And the Boss's Orders is actually an easy discard here as well. We don't need it yet. Go ahead and get the second Moon down. Maximize Professor Sada's to both of the Moons. And this is looking like it's going to be a pretty good medium, you know, right there at the medium kind of size of the game, side of the game. I don't know the right phrasing for that, but it's looking to be not mid, but average for how the deck operates. There we go, average. Mid has such a negative connotation these days. Does average have a negative connotation? Who knows? I personally don't think so. Wow, the Ultra Ball off the PokéStop. Did they need that for the V-Star? Because that's super impressive if they needed that for the V-Star. They hit that without a second thought. They said, I'm Pokestopping. Could have been real bad. Can you imagine milling the legacy energy off of that? Oh, I can only wish. Show me what you got, opponent. Just play it down. Mew and Radiant Zard. Wow. Okay. The Mew is something I don't see very often with this deck. Don't blame them for discarding that. The Radiant Zard is also something you don't see very often in Lugia at this point. So it makes me curious if they're playing an Earthen Vessel kind of energy package here. We'll have to wait and see. If they are, that could also explain why they were so eager to hit the PokéStop for Earthen Vessel as well. Double Chops coming down. No other basics would be ideal here. Because Archeops will not be able to knock out a Roaring Moon. And Super Odd. Okay, I think they are probably playing some type of energy package then with this. Arven as well. We're seeing a really unorthodox Lugia list here, ladies and gentlemen. Was that a future booster capsule? Are they going to amp me? No shot. They can't. I mean, they would have to attach retreat. It's a huge risk. Okay, they just go for the Radzard. Let's see how they choose to take knockout here then. Really intrigued by their 60 at this point. The legacy energy to the Lugia. Okay. So I'm assuming that means that they prized the future hands, the Iron Hands. And they just want this Lugia to go down as a single prizer, which is fair. Gift onto... No gift on the Lugia, though. But gift onto the Radzard. So this could be an angle where if I'm able to counter catch an Archeops, I might go for that. Water Energy is an easy choice to concealed cards away. Let's see what we find. Okay, Pokégear, Flutter Mane. I'm not opposed to using Pokégear here because Explorer's Guidance is not a bad card to play. So let's do that. We find another Sadas. Don't mind it. So, go ahead and Super Rod, 1 and 1 and 1 back. We'll go ahead and Ultra Ball, Flutter Mane, and a Sada's, because I need to get another Moon down. Want to keep a revolving door, basically, of Roaring Moons here. Sada's, 1 there. Unfair Stamp actually is not bad here. Attach for turn. Flutter Mane turns off Radiant Zard's ability, so that's not a bad one to just bench in case I need it. And let's go ahead and Unfair Stamp. I'd like to see what I can find. And putting them to 2 cards without any, oh, did we find the counter catcher? What is my damage up to? 150. So we are knocking out exactly. Earthen Vessel here. The Flutter Mane goes bye-bye. Take 2 Dark Energies. And I think I just take knockout on the active here. No point in overthinking it. Just Vengeance Fletching the active. And as of right now, they don't have a way of returning the KO. No Legacy Energy. So Zard is offline. And no gift on the Lugia means no draw. They would have to have a Fire Energy. Let's see if they play it. And if they got into it off of the Unfair Stamp, which I really hope they didn't. Alright. Nest Ball for Lugia, okay. Aroma, so what's the last card in their hand? Supporter or no? Heads off of this. Probably hoping for Tails, I'm assuming for Luminion. They did Super Rod that back in. They had the Roseannes? No shot! They're going to attack with Radzard this turn. Okay. Unfair Stamp might be the biggest lie ever told. Bigger than Iono, bigger than Roxanne, and definitely bigger than Judge. Wow. That's insane that they hit the Roseanne's back up. Are they playing like a 4-of in their deck? Put Luminion, Jamming Tower, and Legacy back in. So Zard does get the attack this turn and the knockout. And it just completely nullifies Flutter Mane now too. Crazy. The only good news is I do have Counter Catcher online then to go after Archeops is what I think I should. I could always Penny twice, or Penny to Greninja twice too, which is always funny. The Combustion Blast comes out. Craziness ensues. We promote the Roaring Moon. Got a few things to think about here. PokéStop's not bad. Let's go ahead and start with Radiant Greninja. I don't want to use Earthen Vessel for the other energies because I'm kind of running low. Do find that. Now that I got the secret, or the Superior Energy Retrieval, I'm okay to do this. Grab those 2, if it lets me. Attach the active. Do I just Penny here, or do I Guidance? How much am I hitting for? 190. Let's put down the PokéStop first and see what we'd get into. Alright, all 3 is good by me. I'm going to Pokégear. Wouldn't mind, okay, well, Explorer's Guidance. I was about to say I wouldn't mind a Sada's. But what are my odds? Oh, not very high, okay. So let's go ahead then and Explorer's Guidance. Take the Sada's. Take the Pal Pad for sure. And that puts me up to 220 exactly. So I could do the Counter Catcher after the Lugia now. Which, if they were playing 1 Roseanne's, are they playing 2? Do I expect to see Iron Hands at any point in this game? I don't know. That's so tricky. I'm going to do the Counter Catcher play here because if they're playing Roseanne's, there's a world where they do play Thornton. I want to keep them at 2 cards is ultimately what I want to do. And I think that's everything I want to do here. So we'll Vengeance Fletching. Hopefully our hand doesn't get disrupted. I would love to find a boss's orders potentially, or the other Counter Catcher. Ancient Booster off prizes is good by me. Because I can Pal Pad back in boss. Hopefully we find a Pokégear. How many Pokégears have I played down? 2. I have 1 gear left. Okay. Right now, knocking out the Radiant Zard because it has a Legacy and energy on it gives me 0 prize cards. I can technically afford to waste a turn, but I don't want to. DTE on the Lugia V-Star. And do they just have to take the attack here? They do. Okay by me. Interesting idea I just had. I could put Flutter Mane to trap Archeops in the active because they can't use Primal Turbo at that point. I think that's a little risky, but potentially something I can set up with Sada's. Alright, Walking Wake, Superior Energy Retrieval. Let's use Superior Energy Retrieval here first. Scared of Explorer's Guidance and Walking Wake. Take 4 Dark Energies back, please and thank you. Earthen Vessel, just do a deck check real quick. Let's get rid of the Water Energy. I had 1 left, I figured I did. So we have the gear, we have the Pal Pad. So I say we stop first is what I should do. So let's PokéStop first. Thinking about how to maximize these odds here. Alright, we do hit the Pal Pad, okay. So we have that for the turn after this one. Let's go ahead and concealed cards. Let's get rid of the water. There's the 2. Okay. So we don't get disrupted. Let's Super Rod, Moon, and 2 water energies. 1 water energy, 1 water energy, not 2. Don't go too crazy here. Nest Ball for that Moon. We have Guidance and water energy left in deck. We will go ahead and Sada's Vitality to draw those 2 cards. And then I can Pal Pad in the 2 cards I need to guarantee game. Because hopefully I hit Counter Catcher off. I don't take a prize here, I keep forgetting that. Attach that there. Attach that there. We'll Pal Pad Sadas and Sadas. And we'll Vengeance Fletching for the knockout here. No prize card does hurt, and they get to draw 4 cards because of gift energy. Not a great... Oh wait, it's letting me take a prize card? Should it be letting me take a prize card? Wait a second. Oh, because they brought it back with Roseanne's backup. It does allow me to take a prize card. Okay. It only applies on the first time it's used. Alright. That's why we read the cards. I knew that. I was testing you guys to see if you all knew that. We worked so hard for nothing. Our game plan is still solid. In fact, if anything, it's kind of hurt now because I don't have the access to the boss's orders off of the top deck. Because what I could have done is just guarantee the boss's orders. But honestly, we're in a fine spot here. We'll knock out the Lugia V-Star, and hopefully they don't have anything with crazy amounts of HP. Only thing that I could see them doing here is going for Blood Moon Ursaluna. Or maybe Lumineon Ionomi. But even if they do that, I'm guaranteed Sadas. That's why it's so important to stack the top of your deck with the Pal Pads. That's why we play 2 of them. So they could Lumineon here. I think they have to. Lumineon Iono. That's what they kind of have to do and hope. Because they'll knock out this Moon, and then they will hopefully be able to knock out this Moon. That's their goal here. That's what I think they're planning or hoping on doing. Jamming Tower, getting rid of the PokéStop. Don't blame them on that one. But so far, so good. Tells, okay, that does mean they find the Blood Moon here. Oh, they don't have the Blood Moon. Iron Hands, of all things. Are they going to bench it? Okay, that's kind of crazy. Where is the Blood Moon Ursaluna? It's prized we win easy. Kind of made my life a little bit harder right now. Should have maybe considered going for a second Moon rather than the energy I did. So now I've got 3 Moons in the discard and no super odds. We are definitely playing sloppy here, not going to lie to you guys. But we do still have Flutter Mane. Good old Flutter Boy. Sadas, Water, Dark. There's the Penny, there's the Pokégear. Let's go ahead and attach Dark Energy to Flutter Mane. Go ahead and concealed cards. There's the Pal Pad, Explorer's Guidance. Maybe instead of Penny, I play Thornton. That would be so funny. I don't think I need to Pal Pad anything back into my deck right now because I'll go down to 1 prize here and I can't guarantee anything. So let's just take the Vengeance Fletching knockout. 280 on the nose. 2 prize cards. And let's hope they don't have it. Even if they knock this out, I still get 1 more turn. And that's where Pal Pad Boss could come in handy. Boss's orders, okay. On the Greninja. Do they have it? Do they play the electric energy? Are they hoping I can't retreat? Oh, they could be going for the Mew attack. Huh. Lots of things to consider here for them. Oh, wow. Okay, they attach for turn fire energy. So they definitely play energies. They definitely play a light. They just don't have it yet. They're hoping to buy a turn with this. Little they know my secret weapon. Wasn't that? No, it wasn't in the discard at any point in this game. There's Blood Moon. I was assuming Blood Moon would have come out earlier. They could have potentially just won with a Blood Moon here. They misplayed, and they allow me to win the game with the Penny. Up comes the Moon, and goodbye, Iron Hands, my friend. I'll see you on the other side. Vengeance Fletching, 2 games to 1. We remain in the positives, at least with Roaring Moon, baby ancient box. Not a bad deck. Very fun. Definitely a little harder to navigate. Definitely it takes a lot of time to kind of narrow down and really figure out the sequencing and managing those resources. I would say those are the hardest things about the deck, but the number one pro for this deck, the beat stick. Oh, you just beat things down with it. How aggressive you can be early game. Lots to love, lots to like about the deck. And we end it back into Victini League. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, thank you to Game Grow for sponsoring Pioneers, the TCG team that I have created. Can't wait to show you guys those jerseys once they come in. They've been ordered, and we'll be rocking them at Worlds if you are one of our players going to Worlds, which unfortunately I was 40 points short. But we don't talk about that. We keep it positive. We keep it lighthearted here. Guys, as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content today. If you didn't, tell me why. Let me know in the feedback below. Feedback's important. Feedback is how we grow and evolve. And I'm getting ready to grow and evolve by moving on from Ancient Box to another deck. Something more sinister. Something a little bit more Haktuable, if you catch my drift. Until then, enjoy yourselves, guys. Take care. Goodbye.